start with an auxiliary channel input into a filter at 60 Hz. Then I move into a noise gate. Now onto a tube screamer. No added drive, unity tone, and level. This evens out the signal nicely before hitting the amps. From here, the guitar is split into 4 sends: left, center, right, and right. Each send hits an aux track with an amp simulator. Each amp sim has a different setting to provide sonic diversity in the mix. Finally, each aux amp track is sent to a mono audio track. The center, left, and right tracks have amps with less high end and a darker microphone setup. This helps keep the bass and the guitars centered. I mix these tracks low with the others to reduce muddiness and enhance body. Note that these guitars are still panned, just not hard panned. This helps them not to clash with the kick, snare, and bass. The left and right guitars have amps with less bass, boosted high end, and a brighter mic setup. This helps to widen the stereo spread and enhance top end presence. I mix these tracks higher than the others to provide a full, lush, and wide guitar tone. Note, when tracking, I always record 1 take per side, essentially double tracking, using the bright and dark mics from each side. This is a great balance between single tracking, which is too thin, and quad tracking, which is just too much. Now, all the tracks hit the guitar sub. A little subtractive EQ, then some reverb, and finally, the multiband compressor. Really focusing in on that 130 to 350 Hz range to tame those muddy frequencies. From there, it's out to the master, and that is basically how I get my inbox guitar tone. Here are the 2 guitar takes spread across 4 tracks. Start with getting good level and pan settings. Each guitar track gets its own subtractive EQ. Then, each gets some compression. I use the Renaissance Axe, and I shoot for about 1 dB of gain reduction. Onto the sub, more subtractive EQ, multiband compression, and tape saturation. The Oxford inflator adds in some nice harmonics to the upper mids. A little EQ to help it sit in the mix. Then I tilt the EQ spectrum towards a brighter tone. Ending the chain, some stereo spreading to help widen even further. Finally, sending to some reverb. Here is the solo. Note how each part has its own track. This helps to better record each section by utilizing loop record for each region. Hit record, loop the section, and when you finally get the take you want, hit stop. I don't usually use playlist comping for LoneShark stuff. Moving on, I hit each solo track with some compression, a little more than the rhythm tracks due to a more dynamic passage. Then I have a double tap delay that is automated to kick in during certain sections. The solo sub track starts with some multiband compression. Then on to tape saturation. Oxford inflator, this time with the harmonic effect at 100%. Ending with the stereo spreader to help it sit in the mix. Finally, sending to our trusty reverb unit.
So, undulations. Pretty basic. Starts out with just, some thrash garbage. Speed it up. And then it goes into all of this really doesn't matter until we hit our real anchor chords here. An A6, no fifth, into a A sharp 6, no fifth. Let me build off of that. Pretty basic. Pretty much does that up until we hit the solo section. And that goes in. So for the first part, kind of move to the other A string. And then we move into the other part here where we do a bunch of 7s and 9ths, an A minor 7 to a B minor 7. So that's. And then we have a G minor 9 to an F minor 9. An E minor 7 to a D minor 7. And then a B minor 7 to a C minor 7. Back into the first. Our final stuff is just. That's pretty much it.